You are listening to PastThink.com audiobook. Please like and subscribe, thank you. Chapter 104. Kong Ming dies, a great star falls. A wooden statue frightens Sima Yi. Sending Wei Yan out to confront and hold off the Wei troops, Jiang Wei comes to sit beside the dying Kong Ming. Kong Ming hands over to him his secret formulae for the use of magic, such as the 8 main concerns, the 7 precautions, the 6 troubles, and the 5 anxieties. You alone are fit to receive these, says Kong Ming, and Jiang Wei breaks down, crying. I've also designed a bow which can fire 10 arrows at a time. But I've never had time to develop it. Here are my plans, have it made and tested. Most of the kingdom is now safe, but watch out for Yin Ping. There could be trouble there soon. Calling Ma Dai to his bedside, Kong Ming gives him secret information, asking only that Ma Dai carry it out after he has died. Likewise, he passes to his commander Yang Yi a silk bag with secret instructions inside. When I've died, Wei Yan will turn rebel. When this happens, go with him, and when at the front open the bag, and then find the one who is to kill him. Exhausted by all this, Kong Ming collapses, but later awakes and writes a memorial to the second ruler. As soon as the second ruler receives this, he dispatches Li Fu to find out how ill Kong Ming is. In deep distress, Li Fu hurries to Kong Ming and, weeping, asks how he is, to be told by Kong Ming, I've failed to complete my task. I've failed both the second ruler and country. When I've gone, guard and guide him. I'll send one more petition. Kong Ming is taken outside at his request to review the military preparations, but the wind is cold and chills him. Sighing, he regrets that never again will he lead his men into battle. And so saying, he returns to his tent, where the illness worsens. He then gives orders to Yang Yi, saying, when I die nothing must change. Everything must look like normal. Retreat before anyone realizes what has happened. Then he calls for paper and pen and writes one last time to the second ruler. Death is what comes to us all, he writes, and one's fate cannot be avoided. He then recounts the responsibilities he was given and the battles he fought with the North, but to no avail. Now I am dying and I am heartbroken that I have failed to fulfill my service to your majesty. Please, remember to be of honest heart, self-disciplined, caring only for the well-being of the people. Respect your late father and follow his path. Be beneficent to all. Promote the worthy, block the unworthy, those who exploit and harm, and so ensure the righteousness and strength of your kingdom. He then allocates his estate in Chengdu to his children, stressing how little it is, 800 mulberry trees, and about 1,500 acres, not much for all that he has done. Once the memorial is completed, he summons Yang Yi and orders that his body after death be placed in a large box, sitting up. No one is to mourn. All must keep quiet. Put 7 grains of rice in my mouth and a lamp at my feet. These actions together will help me to stop my guiding star from falling, and this will confound Sima Yi. This will enable you to retreat calmly. If you're attacked, put the wooden statue of me in my carriage and drive it towards the enemy. That should see them off. Looking up into the heavens, he points to a star in the northern Bushel constellation and says, there, that is my guiding star. Then he faints. Li Fu arrives while he is unconscious, fearing he is too late, but Kong Ming rallies. He asks Kong Ming who is to take over after his death. Jiang Wei, says Kong Ming. And to follow him? Inquires Li Fu. Fei Yi. And who else, he asks, but no further names come from Kong Ming, for he has died. He was 54 years old. The poet Du Fu has written this. Last night a bright star fell to earth, telling everyone the master has gone. No more orders emanating from his tent, though his fame can only spread from now on. 3,000 followers disorientated. 10,000 with no chance of victory. The green woods, sun-dappled and beautiful, no longer hear his chants ringing. At his death heaven and earth mourn, the moon wanes, dimmed by Kong Ming's soul on its journey to heaven. But as instructed, Jiang Wei and Yang Yi ban any mourning. They dress his body and put it in the box as they were directed. 300 loyal men stand guard. Giving secret orders to Wei Yan to guard the rear, they begin quietly to withdraw and return home. Sima Yi cannot understand what the stars are doing, for one reddish one dips, and then rises, and then dips again 3 times. Hoping this foretells the death of Kong Ming, he is still so frightened of Kong Ming that he dare not try to take advantage in case this is another of his tricks. Wei Yan, meanwhile, has had a dream. He dreams that he has 2 horns coming out of his head. Disturbed by this, he asks Zhao Ji if he can explain it. Troubled, Zhao Ji tells him it is auspicious, but when later he discusses this with Fei Yi, he says that actually it is an inauspicious sign, but that he doesn't want to alarm Wei Yan. When Wei Yan finds out that Yang Yi has been given prime ministerial responsibilities at Kong Ming's deathbed, he becomes very difficult, questioning why Yang was chosen, and not him. Let's attack, and this way fulfill the hoped-for victory against Sima Yi. No point in stopping now just because the prime minister is dead. But Fei has to point out that Kong Ming's last instructions were to retreat. To pacify Wei Yan, Fei Yi promises to discuss this with Yang Yi. But when he tells Yang Yi of the conversation, he says that Kong Ming warned that Wei Yan would rebel. So instead of Wei Yan at the rear, Jiang Wei takes this position, and the army begins to move out. When Fei Yi doesn't return, Wei Yan begins to be suspicious. Discovering that Jiang Wei has on Yang Yi's command taken the rearguard position, he grows indignant and, turning to Ma Dai, asks him to help him kill Yang Yi. Pretending to agree, Ma Dai goes with Wei Yan and his troops. Sima Yi is soon informed that the Shu army has gone. With his troops he chases after the retreating army, but is completely taken by surprise when the rearguard suddenly turns, banners flying, and there, seated in his carriage, is none other than Kong Ming. Panic overcomes not just him, but all his men, and Jiang Wei takes full advantage of the melee to slaughter untold numbers of the Wei troops. So distraught is Sima Yi that he rides pell-mell for many miles, until 2 of his commanders catch up with him and slow his horse. Touching his head, Sima Yi asks almost incredulously whether he still has his head. It is a few days later that Sima Yi finds out that it was only a wooden statue of Kong Ming, and that Jiang Wei had but 1,000 troops with him. This is why a common saying arose, a dead Kong Ming puts a live Sima to flight. As a poet has said, "It was midnight when that star fell from heaven." But Sima ran anyway, shit scared of the enemy. And to this day he's still mocked in the West for asking, "Can you see if my head is still there?" Sima gives up the chase, and the retreating Shu army moves on until suddenly flames are visible, rising in the road ahead. The stamp of an army shakes the very ground, and messengers speed back to Yang Yi to say soldiers are barring the road. So who is this? Who indeed?